Well, Coach Hiller, I know this is a big group of offensive linemen that are signing their national letters of intent with this Indiana recruiting class. How much of a priority in your mind was getting this group of offensive linemen to come here in Bloomington? This all before we break down them individually.
Yeah, it was a critical year, and we got here in 2017, and we had 0 seniors and the numbers, and so we knew that after the hit last year with the guys we graduated, and this year, the amount of guys we were graduating, we knew we wanted to take 5 or 6 guys in this class, and it was just a matter of going out and finding the right guys that fit with who we are at Indiana University and fit within the scheme.
You're taking a mix of guys both from the high school level and some guys with some experience. Let's talk about those that have played a little bit of college ball already that are coming here to Bloomington. Let's start with Dylan Powell.
Yeah, Dylan is a grad transfer from Stanford, and a lot like a couple years ago or a year ago, whatever that was, when we had Nick Linder. He's a guy, he's an interior guy. He's played multiple spots, played a lot of snaps at Stanford, and he was looking to gravitate a little bit closer to home. He's from Hannibal, Missouri, and he's a guy that we feel like with some of the graduation inside and all that, he can come in and factor into the mix for us and fill some needs and obviously add a number to the older classes. So it's good to have him here, and he's a multiple position guy interiorly.
Luke Haggard now comes out of the junior college ranks in California out of Santa Rosa Junior College. What does he bring to the table?
Well, he's long and athletic. He's a guy that was a D-end, played a little bit of offensive tackle in high school, but mostly was a D-end, tight end guy. Didn't get highly recruited out of high school because he was, I think, 220 pounds. He's up in, the 255 to 260 range now. Obviously a guy that we know is going to get bigger. He's going to be a monster. He's got, as his junior college coach, Lenny Wagner, said, he has hands like skillets. And we had him out this weekend, and he's 6'7", and he's really athletic, and he has a redshirt year, and so he's 3 for 2. So we'll just kind of get him here and kind of see how that unfolds as we get him here in January.
You have those two guys that have played a little bit at the collegiate level with Stanford, and then down at the junior college ranks, and through a couple guys coming out of high school and a couple from the state of Indiana. Let's start with Cameron Knight, who comes out of Hamilton County in Noblesville.
Yeah, obviously Cameron is a guy that we've had our eye on. Matter of fact, I remember when he was here at camp my first summer here. I think he was a freshman that year, and he was, I think, starting at left tackle for Noblesville. And Brandon, being his brother, had the opportunity to coach Brandon for a couple of years and knew Brandon throughout the whole recruiting process. And Brandon was always telling me, hey, keep an eye on my brother, keep an eye on my brother. And so Cam was always a tackle. We knew he wasn't size-wise what we were kind of looking for at that position. But when I had the opportunity to go up this spring and see him do some things, and they moved him to center this year, which was awesome, and we're going to play him inside at center. And he's super athletic like his brother. He's a very powerful, explosive kid or young man, I should say, that I think he's already power cleans 340 pounds. He broke his brother's record at Noblesville High School, so it'll be fun to have him here with Coach Blue and those guys in the weight room and see what he becomes.
Coach Hiller, let's go to the northern part of the state now, out of Fort Wayne, and Luke Wigington. Tell us about Luke.
Yeah, Luke was a guy that we identified early on in the process because we were recruiting some guys from Dwenger High School in the last couple classes, and so we seen Luke. He was just a big, tall, kind of thin kid that, I likened him early on to a baby giraffe. He was, kind of wobbly, but he had some length, and it was fun to kind of see the progression that he made from early on his sophomore year to his senior year. He's, he was kind of the centerpiece of their offensive line this year, and I think they were a state semifinalist team, and Luke's going to be a guy who's going to be here early. He's going to be a guy that is going to benefit tremendously with the strength and conditioning and the nutrition program. And again, we feel like the sky's the limit with him.
Brady Feeney comes out of St. Louis, Missouri at 6'4", 325 pounds. As you recruited Brady, what stood out?
Well, Brady is a powerful guy. He is he's the true. When I got here and got here and was introduced to Wes Martin and Simon, you think and you watch those guys and you coach those guys for a couple of years and you go, that's what we want our guards to be. And in the recruiting process, just again scouring the country and Coach Inge was, you know, he's like, hey, I need you over in St. Louis one day. I'm going to have you go see these guys. And I went around and I got over and I got to meet Brady. And, you know, it was evident that he was a big, thick body, you know, guy, kind of built like a Wes Martin type of guy coming out of high school. Actually, he's bigger than Wes currently than Wes was when he was coming out of high school. But and then you put the film on and you see he's just an interior guy. He's going to be a guard body. He can play on either side, and he's a very powerful guy. He's really strong.
Finally, Coach, to wrap up what's been a pretty big group of offensive linemen, tell us about Randy Holt.
Well, Randy Holtz is a people mover, and Randy Holtz is a big man, and he's a guy that is intriguing because he's played a lot of tackle. He's played some guard this year, senior year, but most of his career was a tackle. But we see Randy probably being an inside guy. Had the opportunity to go up and again, recruiting that area myself and seeing those guys, seeing Randy when I remember I met, I didn't meet him, but I saw Randy when he was a freshman in high school. And I was like, who is that? You know, they were telling me about all these other guys, and they said, Coach, he's a freshman. And right then I was like, all right, we got him on our radar. And again, just followed Randy and, you know, kept our eye and kept recruiting with Randy. And Randy's going to come in here and he's going to have some work to do from a conditioning standpoint, and you know, we're gonna have to get him to lose a little bit of weight and all those things. But when I watched him at practice one day, coming off on the sled and some drills and stuff like that, he packs a punch, and when he does, he moves people. So it's gonna be exciting to have a big body like that, and I think he was the state offensive lineman of the year, so we're excited about that.